Hey beauties. So this is the start of the series, Our Different Budgeting Journeys, okay? This is my why. Actually, I have two whys. But first, I'm going to let you know a little bit about my family's past and, you know, how our family is made up. So my job is a stay-at-home mom, which yes, I call it a job because it is a job. I used to work, but once while it's been years ago that I stopped working, y'all. I have a husband, he works, he's the sole provider. We have one income. We have three daughters, one which is out of the home. Another one is in the home, but she's in college. This is her last year. And then our baby girl's in high school, okay? So that's just a little bit about the dynamics. So one of the things I wish I had did was started saving for them when they were babies, right? So I want to just get that out the way right now. If you are a household with small kids, please start saving, doing whatever you need to do to save for their future, okay? But anyway, so we have one income, and that's about it. We don't do a whole lot of traveling. What else? Our youngest daughter plays sports, so we have to account for that. Our oldest child traveled. She did a lot of travel ball, and I'm just trying to let y'all know, like, for when I start talking about this actual budget and stuff, because it's gonna come into play with that. So we just really had a bunch of stuff we had going on when we were actually living paycheck to paycheck, and really it wasn't even paycheck to paycheck, y'all. It really wasn't. So in 2008, when the recession hit, we had a home built. So that was something else. We struggled, but we had to have a home, because so me and my husband both grew up in a home, right? But then once we got on our own and stuff, we was always living in an apartment. So I really wasn't taught, I don't know if it's just my culture or, in other cultures, but we don't really be taught to invest and save and just do stuff like that. But I always saw it. I saw it, I didn't know. I don't want to say I seen my grandpa investing and stuff like that and saving and stuff, but he was always working and he had a home, and so I kind of knew the basics of what I wanted, but I just didn't know how to get there, y'all. So 2008, like I said, we had a home built, and that's when the recession hit. You would think that that would be my reasoning for budgeting, but it wasn't. We almost got into bankruptcy. I still didn't learn how to budget. Now, if you want to say budgeting in your head, then I did that. But I did that just by making sure our bills was paid, like our lights and stuff weren't cut off and stuff. So, but that's not actual budgeting. So, 2008, I almost went into bankruptcy. We was living paycheck to paycheck, not even really living paycheck to paycheck because we was overdrafting. We were getting loans from these loan companies and stuff like that, y'all. I'm just trying to remember. And we were still buying, like when our income tax came, because we was at that bracket then where we was getting an income tax back. Because now, my husband, we really don't get an income tax back. We usually have to pay back. But back then, baby, we was getting an income tax, and what we would do, go out and buy whatever it was. Like my husband, he's into music. He'll go get some thump in his car, and we weren't worried about no investing or none of that. Just getting the newest shoes and just just being reckless. In my opinion, y'all, that doesn't have to be your situation. It was just our situation at the time. We could have been using that money as a savings, investing and stuff like that. Now we still living barely paycheck to paycheck, right? But when we first get it, I paid the bills that needed to be paid and a little bit extra and stuff. But still, I should have still been saving. So you would think I would learn, start budgeting, and I didn't. I didn't do it. So All that was going on. We were steady struggling, but we always had food. Lights never got turned off, none of that. But still, now that I know, we was living terrible, in my opinion. Like, I would never, ever, ever go back to that, Lord say the same, ever. So my reasoning for budgeting, my why, when I finally started, and I'm gonna put my Instagram handle, because I have 2 Instagrams. I'm gonna put my Instagram handle across the screen so y'all can go all the way down to the end and y'all will see why I started budgeting. So I started budget. The first why is because y'all see all this up here, this mess that I got on top of this thing. I wanted to be creative, and that's just the truth. I love to be creative, and I started watching the Budget Mom, and she was doing all these different savings challenge envelopes and stuff like that. And I'm sure I was watching somebody else, but I can't remember. She's like the main one, and I was like, I want to do something like that, to try to see what I could do. So being creative is the reason why I actually started budgeting, y'all. This is something, I'm gonna start moving some of this stuff off the table. This is old, y'all. I just got some regular paper from Hobby Lobby, and every month I would make it my goal to save money. I always wanted to put money in these envelopes, so I would save. All right. And then I started doing savings challenges and stuff. Like, this was my fam's favorite numbers. So every month I would try to save that. Add the monthly zero. Just savings challenges that I either heard of or I thought of myself. Right? I even started these things right here. I had them bigger. They were longer, but I tried to find them, y'all, but I couldn't find them. And this is what they were. And this is what I use now, y'all. I love my envelopes. I made these myself. Like, I love to be creative. I will support people, but doing DIY myself is something that I love to do. And that allowed me to start budgeting. And I got all this stuff up here because this is what, I graduated to. I did the BCL. Like, I just love to create. I got all these little booklets and stuff that I do. I have games and stuff. Like, this, for me, an introvert, this gives me peace of mind to do something, so I won't just be at home having nothing to do, So I just created, and I just love doing it. So that was my first why. But now, so let me get this out the way, y'all. And I'm still going to create. That's just something that I do. But now, what I do is, since I have been in the game for a while and I know where I want to go, what I do is I make sure I budget by paying my bills on time. This is my why. I have to pay my bills on time. I have to. Not that I wasn't, but I want to try to keep track and don't have to get an extension and stuff like that. Okay? I want to try to get ahead on my bills, especially since this inflation is about to hit. I have to try to get ahead on my bills. Paying down my debt, investing, savings. Like, this is my goal now. These are my goals to do. I have to do this. I'm not worried about nothing else. Like, right now, y'all, I'm just focusing on my holiday savings and stuff like that. But all that being creative, I love doing that. That is wonderful. And that brought me to the budgeting community. Like, it actually did, because I wanted to make the cute envelopes and stuff myself to put the money in. So that was my why. But my why now is to make sure I pay my bills on time. I'm trying to get ahead on my bills. I'm trying to pay down debt, which I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. So we was finna pay. If y'all been following my journey, y'all know that I was about to pay off my truck, right? Right there, had the money, all that, ready to pay it off. But something happened with my middle daughter in her college, where she had got behind and she didn't tell us. So we just took that money to pay her college, because we sure wasn't finna let her drop out, especially her senior year. But I just told y'all that to say, yes, it changed up a little bit. but I still had it there. I had that money there. Now, back in the day, I would have never had no money in savings, wouldn't have been able to do none of that. I could have went in my savings, but I said no, because we got a couple of savings. But my baby was just like, baby, let's just take what we was going to pay the truck off, because we about to pay it off again anyway, y'all. I mean, we about to pay it off officially, but he said just take that money and just do that. That way we won't mess with our savings. But I'm just saying, y'all, this works. This is why I budget. I budget now. Excuse me, y'all. My dog, he always barking. So just find your why. You just need to sit down with yourself and just figure out, why do I need to budget? What makes it fun for me to budget? Creating was the reason why I first started budgeting. That's my why. So if you just sit down and have an honest conversation with yourself, and you know, sometimes, y'all, I hear a lot of people say they other, like their spouse or their partner or whatever, don't want to budget. But I'm going to tell you something. That's something that y'all need to talk about. And even if you, I don't know, I'm not trying to cause no problems with nobody, but even if you have your set of money and his set of money, or, you know, your partner's set of money, you might just want to do your part. You know, just try to do your part if you want to budget. That's just a suggestion, y'all. But yes, you need to try to find your why and just get in there. Just get in the game, y'all. That's what I would tell y'all. But yeah, so that's it for me. Now, I really hope y'all look forward to watching all the other beautiful budgeters that we have that's coming on Tuesday and Wednesday with their stories of their why. And I really hope you jump in the game, okay? Y'all be blessed.